It's the final week of January, and we're in Orem, Utah, as we get ready for the WAC Game of the Week. Seattle U and Utah Valley from the UCCU Center, next on the WAC Digital Network. You are looking inside the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. Tonight's matchup, the Seattle U Redhawks taking on the Utah Valley Wolverines. Hello everyone, thank you for watching this WAC Digital Network presentation. Michael Clanton along with Matt Peterson. Excited for this matchup. These are two programs trying to fight their way to the top of the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at how these two teams stand, the Wolverines and the Redhawks, the Wolverines are in fourth place right now in the standings, and the Redhawks are in fifth place, and there's only two games that separate them from the top of the conference, like you mentioned. So a really critical game here at the end of January. A lot of big implications for both teams.
Let's talk about the Redhawks first from Seattle U. They're 2-3 in conference play, and they've got a big opportunity here this week. Obviously tonight, Utah Valley, then first place Grand Canyon awaits them on Saturday. But they've got a ton of balance. And how about Westendorf and Crook?
Yeah, Brendan Westendorf leads the team in scoring at a little over 11 points per game. He is going to be the leader of the team. He's going to carry a lot of the scoring. He's going to be the person that gets them engaged early and often in their offense. And then you've got Jack Crook inside, a very big body. They're going to look to him early to get them easy baskets, try and exploit his size advantage that he may have inside. So these two players are going to have to do a lot for the Redhawks tonight.
And how about the Wolverines? They're coming off a fantastic week. Road sweep, UMKC and Chicago State, 3-2 in conference play, and they've got a couple of players to watch for.
Yeah, Marcel Davis, just as Brendan Westendorf is the leader of the Redhawks, Marcel Davis is the engine that makes the Wolverines go. He can score, he can pass, he can defend. He's going to be a key for UVU tonight. And then you've got Connor Fry, a forward who does a lot. He leads the team in scoring over 15 points a game, leads them in rebounding at a little over 6 a game. So the Wolverines rely on Connor to do a lot of things, and these are the key players we've got to keep an eye on and that the Redhawks will have to keep an eye on.
Matt, how about keys of the game, 2 for each team?
Yeah, I think when you look at what these teams are trying to accomplish, for the Redhawks, they have got to guard the perimeter. The leading scorers for the Wolverines typically do their scoring on the perimeter. So it's going to be a tough night for them if they're not able to stop penetration and get out and guard the three. And a couple nights ago when their last game, the Redhawks came away with the victory, they had 5 players in double figures scoring-wise, and they're going to have that tonight to keep up with the Wolverine offense. So they've got to have a total team effort scoring-wise.
And how about for the Wolverines of Utah Valley?
I think for the Wolverines, what we need to see from them is play a full 40 minutes. They have times when they go through, ups and downs as every team does, but I think it'll be important for them to play for that full 40 minutes, and they are at their best when they limit their turnovers, because what that means is more opportunity, more shots, more chances on offense. So they can limit their turnovers and play a full 40 minutes. It's going to bode well for them.
We're excited for it. Hope you Wolverines. That's next on the WAC Digital Network.
It doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind it.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
To tip off is first we'll have the starting lineup introduction. Thank you for watching the WAC Digital Network. Seattle U 8-11 overall. They're 2-3 in conference play, coming off a nice win against Texas Rio Grande Valley, 70-59. Matt, you mentioned to me 5 players scoring in double figures, and then they next have to go to Grand Canyon. So a difficult stretch here for the Red Hawks, but your thoughts as they come in here into Orem?
Yeah, extremely difficult stretch. I think that they probably come into this game. It's a great thing they got a victory. They have got, 5 guys coming off double figures, as you said. That has got to build confidence with them. On the season, they only have 2 guys that average in double figures. So I think they're going to be looking at this game as a great opportunity, saying, hey, look, we know how we can play. We can get everybody involved. And they're going to come in ready to play.
And, of course, as tradition here at the UCCU Center for the home team, the lights go off, the glow sticks come out as they get ready to introduce the home team. But how about the starters here for Seattle U? Number 13, Chubagu. Watch for him. Career high, 13 points against the Vaqueros. William Powell's been around for a long time, and Jack Crook. He can be a force to be reckoned with in the middle. Utah Valley, they really don't have that size that you need to kind of compete against some of these bigger teams, post players.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you what the Wolverines have struggled with at times is fouls from their big guys. So it's going to be very important for Andrew Bastian to stay out of foul trouble. When Darius Hamilton comes in, he's got to stay out of foul trouble because Crook is a big body. And they're going to look to go to him early, often, because they want to get easy baskets around the rim. So Seattle's got guards that can play. They've got Crook inside. They're a well-balanced team on offense.
And they've got some pretty good punch coming off the bench as well. We'll see Claire and also Menzies. Menzies is about 7'3".
Yeah.
And, will be entertaining to see what they can do against Utah Valley. The Wolverines love to push tempo. They love to get shots up. They're one of the tops in three-point shooting. And how about this starting lineup? Davis, Jackson, Fry, Young, and Bastian. Bastian's been bothered by a knee, has not been 100% for a long time. Coach Pope saying he's really only been healthy for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, and when he's on the floor, he makes an impact. But because of his injuries, he hasn't been on there as much as he would like. But you look at this lineup, it is a guard-heavy lineup, and that's what the Wolverines will rotate in throughout the rest of the game. We have Ivory Young listed as a forward. He's a 6'2" forward, right? He's not a natural forward position, and what the Wolverines will do is spread it out around the perimeter, do a lot of 4-man out around the perimeter, 1-man inside, which is going to be Bastian. But Andrew will be very active in setting a lot of screens. So we're going to see these guys carry the load offensively. You've got Connor averaging 15 points, Jaden just under 15 points, Marcel averaging 13.5, and Ivory at 8.5. So the starting lineup carries the scoring for the Wolverines.
Fry is a very interesting story, number 11, a walk-on. He transferred from Utah State, leads the team in both scoring and rebounding. He's been a gift to the program, according to Coach Pope. And how about Jaden Jackson, number 2? Here's a guy that's really developed. I think last year, kind of just more of a shooter.
Yeah.
This year, he's developed into more of a scorer. How about 9 threes? He had 9 threes in one game, a new school record, so he can fill it up.
Yeah, he can, and what I've liked most from Jaden is he's really started to play a lot better in the last few weeks as conference has really kicked in. Not to say that he didn't play well at the first of the year, but he has really stepped up his game, and credit it to him because he's been very active with doing a lot of things, as you said. When he gets to the free throw line, he's very dependable. He can stretch the floor with the 3. He has been fantastic for the Wolverines on offense.
You see Seattle U, bold choice here. They're just 1-5 on the road. When wearing the red uniforms, they're 0-3.
Oh, boy.
So they're going back with the red unis, trying to break the streak here. Of course, the last road game they had, they did win. So
and I want to make
we'll
a point.
see.
I want to make a point real quick. Let's see the tempo of both of these teams. We know the Wolverines are going to do, as Coach Pope always says, pace and space. Let's see if Seattle tries or can match that.
So Crook and Fry jumping, and the control is to the Wolverines. This is Marcel Davis, the senior, also a transfer from Utah State. He's been terrific in this his senior season.
Seattle going to a 3-2 zone. They didn't come out in man-to-man. starting off with a 3-2 zone, trying to get those guys on the perimeter out to the shooters.
Bastion a little short on that jump hook in the lane. He only played 7 minutes in the win against Chicago State, had 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 block, and that was about it. You mentioned he tends to get into foul trouble too, so we'll have to monitor that. Here's Chimagu, able to knock down the jumper. The junior out of Seattle, Washington. We talked about it, coming off a career-high performance. 13 points in the win against Texas Rio Grande Valley.
Just as you mentioned, Chihuahua gets the first possession, posts up Jaden Jackson. Very confident shot for him.
Ivory Young knocks down the triple. The junior out of Houston, Texas.
The 3-2 zone will struggle if you don't get out to the shooters. And the Wolverines early on are doing a lot of screening as you see Jaden come away with a pick.
Ahead to Fry. Crook back defensively. Oh, Fry, nice adjustment. Able to score over Crook, who stands at 6'11".
Yeah, that time Jaden was able to get around, anticipate the pass coming into the post, fronts, gets around the defender, and comes away with the steal. Nice finish from Connor.
That was one of the keys for Coach Cameron Dollar. We got to take care of the ball, limit the turnovers. Only had 5 in the last game, as Crook able to finish inside. And quickly, here comes the Wolverines. Fry thought about it, penetrates. Chair drop, doesn't fall. Crook with the rebound.
I think the Wolverines are active against, when Seattle scores a basket, they're almost going to a 3-quarter court 1-2-2 zone, and the Wolverines are tacking it on the sidelines. They're trying to beat the press early.
Here's Powell. Powell's been around for a long time, misses on that. Marcel Davis, a very good rebounding point guard, comes up with the board. Jackson. Back to Davis. Penetrates, back outside to Young.
Here comes Andrew Bastion up, setting a screen. He usually rolls to the basket. Nice pass from Marcel.
And Bastion able to finish inside. Missed his first shot, but that one goes down for the young man out of Tustin, California.
We get a quick timeout here from Coach Dollar, but you see what UVU tries to do on offense. No matter what defense you're playing, they're going to run their sets. They're going to get their guys around the perimeter. They're going to get Andrew Bastion coming up and setting screens. He rolls to the basket, and they're trying to fill spots around the perimeter. If Seattle's going to keep playing this 3-2 zone, the Wolverines will have some opportunities because the 3 top guys are so concerned with getting out to the shooters that there's going to be a ton of space in the paint and in the middle of the floor that I think the Wolverines could exploit. One of the possessions that we saw from Seattle too, I'd like to see them try and pound that ball inside a little bit more to Crook. He got an easy basket. It didn't look like the Wolverines tried to double him. You mentioned that to me. Does Seattle have the patience to, throughout the game, keep pounding that ball inside to Crook and get some easy shots?
Westendorf gives it up. Back to Brendan Westendorf, 6'5", 190-pound junior guard out of Auburn, Washington. He's been a terrific find for Coach Dollar. Powell inside. Oh, got the finish.
Terrific finish there from Powell. Andrew Bastion did a nice job of staying vertical, but Powell took on the contact in the chest and finished. What a shot.
Young man from Huntsville, Alabama. Played a lot, only a junior, and one of those experienced players for Coach Cameron Dollar. Jackson, 3 rims out. Crook with another rebound. Both these teams shoot the 3 ball pretty well. Utah Valley, 4th.
They're trying to post up inside. They're trying to get that ball into Chihuahua. You see him posting up inside, trying to keep him active.
Cohee misses on the jumper. Back comes Marcel Davis and the Wolverines.
Really good give and go there. Just not able to finish was Powell.
Fry looking for some help. He's got 5 points. 4th leading scorer in the conference. Shot by Young doesn't make it. And second chance here for Fry. And it's going to stay with the Wolverines. All right, so we'll step aside. We'll take a break. 10-6 our score. The Wolverines in front of the Red Hawks. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. Back to
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I know that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Cuts. Get some cold.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Welcome back inside the UCCU Center. Watching the WAC game of the week. We've got a good one so far. Seattle U and Utah Valley. It's the home team leading by a score of 10-6. Both teams shooting 50%. Seattle U 3 of 6. Utah Valley 4 of 8. And that three-point line that's been so good to Utah Valley. They hit 15 in the win against Chicago. Averages 3 a game, which is tops in the conference. A whistle and a foul on the drive.
Marcel going to be shooting free throws. We see also what the zone does is you're a perimeter player playing in a perimeter role in the zone. You're thinking, hey, I got to get out and shoot. I've got to close out. When there's a skip pass or a long pass, I have to close out quickly to get to the shooter. And as the shooter, what you're thinking is, okay, if he doesn't get in time, I've got a shot, or if he comes and he gets out there and he doesn't get it in control, you got a driving lane opportunity. That's exactly what Marcel did there. A little bit late rotation, and Marcel took advantage with the drive.
Utah Valley, an outstanding free throw shooting team, #1 in the conference, 73%. They were perfect the last game, 17 for 17. They have now made 33 consecutive free throws. Westerndorf connects on the 3. First made 3 for Seattle U.
Very nice skip pass there. This is kind of the big lineup that Seattle's going to be going with. They got their 2 big guys in the game. So the Wolverines have to be concerned with that and sink down. As you get a nice steal here from Westendorf.
One of the tops in the conference at that category. Misses the layup, got it back, and puts it in.
Great anticipation there, getting into the passing lane from Westendorf, and although he didn't finish the first layup, comes up with the second. Great anticipation and a nice finish. And those are the kind of baskets that Seattle has to have.
Marcel's jumper misses, a rebound by Aaron Menzies. He's a freshman from Manchester, England. And they think he's going to be a good one.
Yeah, he's got the size. Watch how they try and keep those 2 guys on the post. There's going to be a lot of action from perimeter guys as you see here coming off, but they're going to turn and post. And this could cause some problems for the Wolverines as they're trying to get that ball, and they do, into Crook.
Shot clock down to 4. Menzies down to 2. They got to get her off, and they're not going to get the shot off. A shot clock violation. Menzies, the freshman, I don't think he knew where the clock was.
He did pretty good defensive possession from UVU, and you know what? A little off kilter and a nice cross-court dump off there to Crook.
So Crook, academic all-WAC a season ago. Scored in double figures 11 times this season. Has a season high of 22 points against Mississippi Valley State as Andrew Bastian checks into the ball game. So he and Crook will be having their duel in paint.
I think Seattle has to be really pleased with how much they've got to the free throw line as well. You know, they can take advantage. It's another opportunity for some easy points.
They're 7th in free throw percentage in the conference, coming in at 65%. And a whistle and another foul.
Legal screen from Andrew Bastion. The bigs of the Wolverines are very active around the three-point line setting screens. Andrew just didn't get set and gets called for the foul.
7:51 left. Seattle U leading Utah Valley 23-15. Back after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
Geico.
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others,
just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
And welcome back. UCCU Center. You're watching the WAC Digital Network game of the week. Seattle U and Utah Valley. And right now it's the Redhawks having the better of it as we look at Utah Valley. Coach Mark Pope, who's done a nice job here. First year, totally different scheme. Dealt with some injuries. We haven't really talked about Zach Nelson and Garrity. These were two players that they were going to rely heavily on this season, and each of them getting injured.
Yeah, Telly Davenport had an injury
and
as
Telly
well.
Davenport,
the Wolverines have, that has been a negative for them, but they've turned it into a positive. A nice offensive, couple offensive rebounds there, opportunities for Seattle, but the Wolverines come away with that.
That's some good looks, and of course Seattle U fans will say, well, Sunderhouse, he's been a really reliable player for the Redhawks, and he's unable to go. And although he is here tonight, but he tore up his knee and won't be able to play, and that is a big loss for Coach Cameron Dollar.
Yeah, all teams deal with it. You know, I guess some teams to a more serious extent than others, but both teams have dealt with it, and I think both teams have got to be pleased with how they've overcome that challenge.
And they're right there. I mean, they're, like you say, middle of the pack, and just about halfway through the conference slate is Corey Caldwell off with that one.
And they didn't blow that whistle dead either. I thought that they were going to, but no stop of action here.
Chibagu able to knock that down. So Manny following up that nice performance against the Vaqueros. A couple of made buckets here against the Wolverines.
The penetration of Brendan Westendorf is really creating offense for his teammates.
How about Connor Fry? He doesn't care that Jack Crook is 6'11". He attacks him anyway and finishes it inside. He is scrappy, this walk-on.
He is, and he did a terrific job there of using his body to shield Crook away from it at a different angle, and a difficult angle at that.
Utah Valley needed that. They've cooled off on shooting just 27% as the jumper is good again by Brendan Westendorf. You know, when I first looked at this matchup and studied the point guards, I was excited because we've got two really good point guards, and I've been pleasantly surprised by Westendorf.
Yeah, get a nice made three there from Jaden. Wolverines struggling for points on offense. Two much-needed baskets from Connor and there from Jaden, but yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. This game has come from the beginning of the half, and it's turned into a matchup here for Westendorf.
Foul inside, going right at Bastion, and he's going to be called for the foul. And that is what Seattle U is going to do. They're going to bang it inside, get the other guys from Utah Valley in foul trouble.
Yeah, watch Andrew Bastion come over here You know, the official made the motion. You see how his hands just come down ever so slightly at that angle. That is always going to be a foul, and that's exactly what the official motioned when he called it. It's so hard. The tendency is to see something smaller than you and that ball going up to try and put your hands down on top of it and block it. But Andrew gets called for the foul. Obviously, just needs to stay vertical, but Powell draws the contact.
Another one of those rule changes that they came up with this year. You got to be vertical as you mentioned.
Offensive rebound.
Attacking Bastion, and he draws another foul. Oh my.
That was created too by Jack Crook. He was the one that knocked the ball. I believe it was out of Andrew Bastion's hands inside. Kind of bounced around in the paint, and Powell comes up with it. Mistake there from UVU. You never want to give up an offensive rebound off the free throw.
Powell, 64% free throw shooter, misses on the first. One more coming up. The 6'6", 215 junior out of Huntsville, Alabama. Started last year as a sophomore. Missed the second one. Bastion comes up with it. 7-point advantage here for the Redhawks. Jackson, the baseline jumper doesn't go. Manrup with the rebound.
Jaden did the right thing there. You had Jack Crook, who's the bottom man in the 3-2 zone, has to close out to Jaden to avoid the three-point shot. It was a great look. The Wolverines have just been off on their shooting so far, and a lot of that has to do with Seattle. And you're going to get a foul here on Alex Carr inside, but William Powell is very active in posting up on that block, on the right-hand block there. From the very beginning of the game, they've tried to get him involved, and they've tried to post him up, and he's been effective.
Versatile player. He can, mid-range jumper, post, good ball handler, passer, makes good on the first.
Yeah, odd to see him miss 4 straight free throws, but makes that one there and makes the second one as well.
Well, he's not a great free throw shooter, but kind of a Swiss Army knife here for Seattle U as Aaron Menzies will check back into the ball game. You mentioned giving Coach Dollar some good minutes.
Let's see if Seattle can keep up this intensity on defense with the zone. And let's see if the Wolverines can get out of the funk that they're in. And they can't. They turn the basketball over here. Been so impressed with what Seattle has done, holding the Wolverines to 20 points so far. That's not an easy thing to do.
9-point advantage for the Redhawks. Just 1 in 5 on the road. Cook is doubled. Gets to his buddy Menzies, who puts it in.
That was a great read from Cook, because again, he knew he was going to get double teamed. And what did Menzies do when the double team went? He came down the lane, made himself big and available. And a really nice finish, a late rotation from the Wolverines.
Davis unable to finish. Westerndorf comes up with it. 11-point lead now for the Redhawks as we approach 4 minutes in this first half.
Yeah, and if you're the Redhawks, keep pounding the ball in. Here it goes inside to Crook. Nice skip pass.
Chicago misses on the jump shot. Here comes Young, and he walked with it.
Wow.
So another turnover.
Wolverines just out of sorts. This is uncharacteristic for them. They're not playing how they normally play, but you know what's not often that I see against the Wolverines is a 3-2 zone. And maybe that's what's doing it, because the Wolverines aren't able to get the same action around the perimeter that they're used to. In Seattle, one of the keys that we talked about, can Seattle keep up? Is you're going to get an offensive foul here, but can Seattle keep up with the UVU pace? And they have dictated the pace and tempo of the game so far.
Breaking the action, it's the Redhawks 31, the Wolverines 20. 3:51 left in the first half. Back to Orem after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Icky Woods will celebrate almost anything?
44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts.
Geico.
Get some cold.
People talk about college like you're in some kind of bubble. Like there's college, and then there's the real world. Hey, this is UVU. You're not just reading about it or watching someone else do it. This is engaged learning. At the certificate, associate's, bachelor's, or master's level, you're in the real world every day.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
Welcome back inside the UCCU Center here in Orem, Utah. Watching the WAC game of the week. And right now it's the away team that only has one road win on the season, leading by a score of 31-20. Coach Mark Pope, I had a nice conversation with him on Tuesday. 42-year-old, first-year head coach, was at BYU for several years, won a national championship at Kentucky. And I said, well, how do you feel about Utah Valley? He's like, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I love this place.
He brings such a good attitude. He really does. It's amazing. What a block there for Menzies. Marcel had a lane, but a nice block for Menzies. But yeah, to finish up the thought about Coach Pope, you know, it's fun to see because he has a confidence, he has an energy. It's positive emotion, positive energy all the time. And it really has rubbed off on the team, and it's really rubbed off on the university, and it's fun to see.
He loves his guys. He says, you know, they're bringing it, guts and hard work and effort and their soul, and so he's proud of this team. He says they represent Utah Valley very well. Let's see if they can cut into this deficit. Skank on the drive, back outside, Fry, corner three, it doesn't fall. Menzies with the rebound.
Yeah, the Wolverines are not getting any offensive opportunities on the glass, and it might be by design that they are sending guys when the shot goes up to get back in transition, but you know, both teams with only 3 offensive rebounds so far. So not a lot of second chance opportunities. Traveled on the sideline.
So Manny being urged by Coach Cameron Dollar, shoot the ball.
I think urge is probably too gentle of a word. I think it was commanded.
Yeah.
Commanded to shoot the ball, and he had the jumper.
He has started 11 games, averages about 16 minutes, and 4 points a game. They want him to be a little bit more assertive. Nice pass inside. Davis, the teardrop doesn't go. And Menzies, another rebound.
It's the Menzies effect. You see how Marcel kind of had to shoot that a little quicker than he would have liked. It's because Menzies was coming up, challenged the shot. He turned around and came down with the rebound. You're cognizant, being a perimeter guy, when you're going inside and you've got a 7-footer inside, you're aware of how big he is and where he is.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not always about getting the block, but it's about effecting the shot.
The shot, absolutely.
And I think we'll see that down the road with the Seattle U program.
In this action, and you see how the defense comes in. Westendorf took the shot. He had a dish off to Powell. His dribble drives and his penetration has been great for the Redhawks offense.
9 points for Brendan Westendorf. He is their top scorer, averages 11. Might get that in the first half. And knocks down 1 or 2. Now with double figures, 10 points. Top scorer here in the game so far, and another steal. 4th in the WAC in that category. With the slam dunk. And Coach Dollar fired up for his guys.
Another easy transition basket, but it came because of plays like this. This time you're going to get called Westendorf with the foul, but you know, when the Wolverines are trying to pierce that 3-2 zone, the top of it, Seattle, if they don't foul, they're very active with their hands, trying to knock that ball away, and that's what they did that led to the dunk. and another much-needed basket and welcome basket in transition for the Red Hawks.
Points in the paint, a telling statistic there, +10 for the Red Hawks as Davis makes good on the first free throw. And that's something he was able to establish early, is going to the foul line. And we talked about it, Utah Valley, good free throw shooting team.
I think that's only their 6th attempt, right? I mean, if you're Seattle, you're looking at that and thinking, okay, that's fantastic. And that's what the zone has a tendency to do, is you're less likely to foul in most instances against the zone. And it's kept UVU off the free throw line. That's a
Jackson with another steal. And I'm going to get Spurgeon with the foul.
You know, in the NBA, that would have been a clear path foul.
Sure.
They don't have that rule in college.
Not yet. It might work itself in here in the next decade or so.
I wouldn't doubt it, because a play like that, I mean, it's a foul. Jaden's got his chance to go to the free throw line. Yeah, Jaden's done a nice job on a couple plays. That's more than one steal that he's had tonight, anticipating the pass, being in the lane. He's been the transition offense for UVU.
It's a good point. That's his 3rd steal of the game and makes good on the first free throw.
I think that's his 2nd one up top like that. The other one was when he got around the post for the steal. So those are the kind of sparks you need. Maybe this brings the Wolverines to life a little bit.
He played 39 minutes in the win against Chicago State, 22 points, couple rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 turnover. Also the team's leading 3-point shooter, 47 coming into tonight's game, and that's a lot more than he had last season. Powell back outside. Spurgeon misses everything. Hit one earlier in the game. And it'll be UVU basketball, trailing by 10 with 1:12 left here in the first half.
Yeah, you hear a lot about closing out the half. The Wolverines made a nice quick run here. Let's see if they can continue it in the last minute.
Davis misses on the 3, a battle for it. Westerndorf comes up with it. I'm going to walk it up the court.
Yeah, and the Wolverines can't be mad with the shots that they've gotten, because they've got really good looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down.
Of course, early on, they were shooting 50%.
Yeah.
That was the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And now that has really cooled down at under 30%. As that 3 off the mark. Fry comes up with it, pushing to Davis. About a 2-second differential. Skank got the step. How about that, using the rim as a shield, able to score against 7'3" Menzies.
Yeah, just his speed beat him around Menzies, and used the rim, used his body, as you said. 7 seconds here. Important for Seattle to get a good look.
Westerndorf for 3, that doesn't fall. And that's how the half comes to an end. So well played by the Red Hawks, weathering a bit of a storm early. That pace, that tempo, the 3s falling for Utah Valley, but they cooled off significantly. And it's the Red Hawks leading by a score of 34-26. We'll step aside, we'll take a break, we'll come back with some highlights and some stats. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. Red Hawks on top of the Wolverines, 34-26.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
I am Dr. Michael Scheller. I am Associate Dean of the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology at GCU. We want students that have passion. We're looking for well-rounded students. Engineering and technology are the fastest growing fields. We have a great curriculum. All our programs are hands-on. People that come out of this program will be workforce ready.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university.
in a fertile valley. A growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community. A tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
All right, welcome back to the UCCU Center. We're at halftime. We're at Seattle U leading Utah Valley by a score of 34-26. Thanks for watching the WAC Digital Network. Matt, what were your thoughts of the first half? Really intriguing. Early on, it was Utah Valley, and then after that, it was kind of all Seattle U.
Yeah, their defense really came to play tonight. They settled in with the 3-2 zone. They did a nice job of limiting second chance opportunities. And they held the Wolverines 28% from the field, 27% from three, and the Wolverines only attempted 8 free throws where they made 7 of them. Look at the keys that we had. What did Seattle have to do? They had to defend the perimeter, check mark. They've absolutely done that. They had to have balanced scoring. They've got Westendorf with 10, Chibogwu with 6, Menzies with 6, Powell with 5, so they're getting that balanced scoring. That's absolutely what they needed. For the Wolverines, they had to play a full 40 minutes, and thank goodness for them, it is 40 minutes. They made a nice run there at the end.
They played a really good 4 minutes early on.
They did.
See if they can get that back.
They weren't able to keep that up, and for them, they had to limit their turnovers. They had 7. So we'll see some of the highlights here. A lot of good things from both teams, but I think what we'll notice from the Wolverines is, they haven't made a whole lot of shots, but the baskets that they do get are inside the paint. They do have 10 points in the paint of their 26, but Seattle has slowed the game down. They've really controlled the tempo. They've pounded the ball inside, and that has worked for them so far.
Seattle U, you mentioned the defensive effort, holding Utah Valley to only 27% three-point shooting, 3 of 11.
Yeah.
They started the game 2 of 4.
Yeah.
So they've kind of really gone cold since that time.
And a lot of these baskets that we're seeing from UVU, they're contested, right? They're not real easy baskets. Some of them are more wide open shots, but I think both teams have done a nice job of contesting the other team's shots.
And how about the first half stats?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Seattle, you got to be happy with the 48% you're shooting, 29% that UVU is shooting, and look at the 3-point shooting for UVU, one of their strengths. Pretty even with the turnovers each at 7, rebounds pretty even, assists and fouls. So it has been a very even game other than the shooting percentages. And if I'm UVU, I'm looking at it saying, geez, we played probably one of our worst first halves of basketball all year, and look at the score. We're down 8. We made a run there at the end. If we can just keep running our offense, getting the shots, because they've been quality shots, they'll eventually fall, and that could be what turns the game for them, is a few made shots here and there.
2 more stats I want to point out. Bench scoring 9-2 Seattle U, and points in the paint. You did mention Utah Valley with 10, but Seattle U with 18.
Yeah, and it's come from their big guys, but it's also come from their little guys, their perimeter guys. A lot of those in transition, a lot of them off the dribble drives getting to the rim. So Seattle U dominating in the paint so far.
Well, we're on the campus of Utah Valley University, and here's a video on some of the programs that they offer here in Orem, Utah.
TNC, what are you gonna be?
Welcome to Utah Valley University. My name is Michael Subway, and I'm the Dean of the College of Technology and Computing, or as we affectionately know it, TNC. I want to welcome you to one of the most beautiful places on earth. As you can see behind me, we have mountains in the backdrop, we have a lake on the other side, snowboarding, skiing, hiking and biking, anything you need. And oh, by the way, you can get a really good education here as well. But let me give you a quick introduction to TNC and show you how you get a real degree that will help you land a terrific job. We offer some of the most dynamic and vigorous programs in the country. With over 4,000 students and an award-winning faculty of dedicated professionals, we have become the place for not only students to come to get an education, but also the place for employers to come and find some of the best trained, most qualified employees in the nation. Our programs here at TNC include one of the top automotive technology programs in the nation. Here students learn everything from engine repair to diesel mechanics to paint shop processes, all the way to how to take an old clunker and turn it into a hot rod. And if you're really good, you can be on the Wolverine racing team, which holds 5 world land speed records out at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Talk about graduating with a great resume. Or how about our computer science program? With state-of-the-art computer labs, our students learn the latest and greatest on a variety of devices and platforms. Whether you're interested in computer engineering, software development, or designing the next hot video game, we'll teach you everything you need to know. Our computer science graduates are being hired by some pretty big name companies. One of our students recently won the title of top computer programmer in the nation. Or if you want a real hands-on program, check out our construction technology department. If you want to supervise construction sites or manage commercial projects, or be a dependable home builder, then this is the place for you. Our students are truly involved in the community, annually building a Habitat for Humanity home. Our construction competition teams have brought home first-place trophies for several straight years. We are also home to the Culinary Arts Institute, which is turning out some of the greatest chefs in the country. The last 3 years have seen our students win top regional and national awards. For many of our culinary students, this is where they learn everything they need to open their own restaurants or catering companies. And don't forget about our digital media program, which truly is one of the most popular programs on campus. And no wonder, as they turn out award-winning movies, video games, and other products. Many of our digital media students are offered jobs before they even graduate. Then there's our engineering, graphics, and design technology department, training the newest generation of engineers, architects, and surveyors. If you're interested in drafting, surveying, geomatics, 3D modeling, CAD, or architectural drawing, we have great 3D printer technology as well, in case you're into that. Or if you're interested in robotics or mechatronics or going into engineering, then you should check out our engineering technology department. We've got some of the most advanced lab equipment in the entire state of Utah. This is truly a resume-building environment. And our information systems and technology department always seems to have more job offers than we can fill. Jobs like software developers, programmers, digital forensics investigators. You know, all the cool jobs. If you're one of those folks who knows they'd make a good business leader, then our technology management department is for you. You get to pick your favorite technology field, and then we will train you how to be a top-notch manager in that specialty. So if you're looking for a great education, a great job, and a great place to live, work, and have fun, come join us at Utah Valley University and in the College of Technology and Computing.
TNC, what are you gonna be?
$15 could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
Our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
we compete with integrity and passion.
And we see
our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others.
Just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back inside the UCCU Center. Willie the Wolverine. Some shenanigans here at halftime, and it's been the Redhawks for most of this first half. At one point, Utah Valley led by 6, and then Seattle U led by as many as 14. Right now, they're leading by accounts of 34-26. We do want to pass along this score. Grand Canyon and Bakersfield are playing the same time we are there at halftime, too. 38-31. Grand Canyon leading Bakersfield, who beat Seattle U the last time out, and that's who Utah Valley will face next. And of course, Seattle U will play down in Grand Canyon next on Saturday.
It's quite a stretch right now, I think, conference season, because you've got so many guys, so many teams playing really important games, and it's really fun to see. And this weekend is a very big weekend for a lot of teams. And starting with who we're watching tonight on the court, there's a lot at stake, a lot on the line, and I'm excited to see what plays out in the second half. I'm going to be looking to see if UVU can shoot the ball any better, and can UVU stop Brendan Westendorf, because he's been a catalyst so far.
10 points and a couple of steals, couple of assists. He's been, to me, the player of the game so far, although, Menzies and Crook, certainly they've had a huge impact. Marcel Davis struggled shooting 1 for 6, but 7 points and 5 assists. Does have a couple turnovers. We'll come back with the second half right after this halftime. And it's 34-26 Seattle U. Back to Orem after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't move!
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day.
We strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
We compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities
and believe that we can inspire others.
Just as they have inspired us. We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
the Western Athletic Conference.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.
Welcome back. You see the score, 34-26. Second half just about underway. Matt, a bad trend here for Utah Valley. 1-8 when they trail at halftime.
I think that this might be a little bit different for them. Granted, the stats don't lie. They're down 8 points. They haven't played their best basketball. Now, I think they've got to be positive as you see Westendorf coming out quick. What did we just talk about? Can UVU stop Westendorf? And he is playing with a ton of confidence. But you're right, the Wolverines have had a hard time winning those games in which they trail at half.
Westendorf now 13 points, top scorer in the game. Fry's been quiet. Remember, he's the 4th leading scorer in the WAC. Marcel Davis knocks it in.
That was terrific ball movement from the Wolverines. We had Connor Fry attack Jack Crook on the closeout. There was a skip pass and then that one extra pass, wide open shot. Great offense run from the Wolverines.
Davis with just 1 field goal in that first half. So that'll get him going a little bit here in the second half. Westendorf left it short. And Fry, boy, he got clocked in the jaw. He's still a little bit down. He is not shy to mix it up. He doesn't care who's in the middle. He sees ball, I'm gonna go after ball.
Yeah, you see him here try and get the steal, but then when he goes up, he's gonna go flying into Jack Crook's arm. And I'm not sure if it was there that he got hit or if it was from behind from Powell, but you're right, he's a high energy player. He does it from the perimeter, he does it from inside as well.
Talked to Coach Pope about him. The first words out of Coach Pope's mouth, unbelievable. Walk-on, leading scorer and rebounder for us. His game is growing every night. It's fun for him. He's been a gift to the program. Loves how versatile he is on defense. Able to get the reverse layup to go.
That was one of the few times that we saw the Wolverines crack the 3-man perimeter there. Ivory Young came charging as fast as he could off of when he got the ball around the perimeter. Going to get a nice, what a block there for Bastian.
Andrew Bastian, a talented shot blocker, when healthy. Fry, it lipped out for him, battled for it. A whistle and a foul inside.
There's a different energy to start the half for UVU. They gave up the 3, but you see Bastian crashing the offensive glass. Powell gets called for the foul. But a completely different energy to start for UVU.
Here's Fry, back to Davis. Jackson puts it on the floor, back to Young for 3, and he knocks it down.
That's a tough thing for Jack Crook to do. We've seen it multiple times where he has to go out and guard the perimeter, and he has to close out hard on Jaden Jackson, and that time Jaden just beat him to the baseline and the skip pass to Ivory Young, wide open.
And how about this now, a 3-point game, 37-34. Westendorf trying to get it inside to Crook. Nice pass by Powell inside the Jack, and he scores, and a chance now at a 3-point play for the senior.
That was perfect execution on the high-low play. I mean, this was just beautiful ball movement. You see the ball going to the high post. Powell probably had a wide open shot, but you see Crook with the even more wide open layup there at the basket, gets called for the foul. Nice job of Powell flashing to the high post, making himself available, and Crook positioning himself as the ball was in the air.
Turning down a good shot for a better shot.
Absolutely.
That's what they got. 3-point play. Lead is back up to 6. Ivory.
Gonna get a charge there. Yeah, it was a little bit different because Crook again had to close out, but that time you had a rotation along the baseline. Terrific job of positioning by William Powell, taking the charge and helping out Crook as he had to close out. That was virtually the same possession from earlier, only Jaden was the one driving, except for Powell comes over and takes the charge.
Powell 5 points and a rebound in that first half, 17 minutes. But he's been active and he's been a good contributor for Coach Dollar. Crook down the lane, going right at Bastian, able to score.
Oh, that was a really nice play there because Crook had the lane line wide open. Good ball handling from a big guy.
A whistle and a foul on the other end. Crook with a quick 5 here to start the second half.
Notice the space here. See the space that's there? Powell that time had to go out because Ivory Young was on the perimeter. A poor closeout left the lane wide open for Connor, and Coach Dollar in front of us yelling, "Charge, take a charge," because you saw Crook come into the picture there late, and he jumped up, tried to challenge the shot from Connor Fry. If it would have, as Coach Dollar said, come over quickly and take a charge, it might have been there.
Fry, a 78% free throw shooter as Menzies comes back into the game. He's 4th in the conference in free throws.
And And that could be big, too, for the Red Hawks because that's Crook's third foul, right? And we're early here in the second half. So Menzies comes into the game. We'll have to watch when Crook comes back in with that foul trouble.
Hamilton also with 3 fouls.
Going to get a moving screen. William Powell up top. Both teams active with setting screens. Both teams have had some trouble getting set. That time Powell nowhere near set. The foul is called.
Jackson attacking, now back outside to Fry. Running out. Powell with another rebound.
Yeah, and the Wolverines, that was, again, beautiful ball movement, beautiful use of space, and passing for a wide open 3. Seattle is, defense hasn't been as good to start the second half as it was in the first half. They're allowing a lot of wide open shots in there. What a knockdown 3 from Matt Claire.
Claire, he is a marksman out there. One of the top 3-point shooters in the conference. And there's the charge that Cameron Dollar was talking about that you overheard right in front of us.
Another charge from Powell on the exact same play. The Wolverines work that ball around the perimeter. It goes into the corner. This time again, Ivory Young with another drive. Because you got a big guy that's closing out into the corner. It's hard for him to do that. The Wolverines are driving, and they're looking for the baseline pass on that drive, or they're looking for the cross-court pass, but they can't do it if they get called for the charging foul as they've done. Nice job of William Powell taking those charges.
Spurgeon checking in the game with 1 made 3 in that first half. Deflected out of bounds. It's going to stay with Seattle U. And that's going to send us to a break. 15:54 left. UVU cut it to 3, and now the lead is back to 10 for the Red Hawks. Back to Orem after this.
Geico.
They come for one of the nation's top-rated business schools. The world-class performing arts. The advances in engineering and health science. And more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions. But they all start here. UMKC. The place where people go in places.
Welcome back. You're watching the WAC Digital Network. This is the game of the week with Seattle U and Utah Valley. That looks good.
Yeah,
ice cream sandwich? Is that? Of course, I don't know if you've been in the complimentary room.
I have.
Very good. Pizza before.
That ice cream looks like a nice topper there.
Yeah, it does. There is the Green Man Group. Very entertaining at halftime and throughout the game.
I wanted to make a quick point. A few minutes ago, we saw the 3 from Manroob Claire. Those were his first points. You know, he's the second leading scorer on the team. He averages 10.7 points a game, and an amazing statistic. He's attempted 152 field goals. 128 of them have been threes. So he is a three-point shooter, and he has been quiet, but we've seen how he is very active with that shot.
Shabagu misses on the 3. He had a 10-game stretch where he hit 3 threes, at least 3 threes in those 10 games. So he averages 3 makes a game. Bastion staying with it. I think Coach Dollar wanted an offensive interference, but he does get fouled. And he'll head to the free throw line. Remember, he's playing now with 3 personal fouls.
Let's see if Menzies stays vertical here, like we saw Andrew get called a minute ago for a foul. Tough call there. I mean, we don't have the best angle in his hands. That to me looked like a little bit of a play on. Let him go. Oh no, that's a different angle here. Menzies clearly did bring his hands down. He couldn't see. So You know, I can't. It's probably been what, 6 straight times that the Wolverines have gotten the ball in that far corner and driven and either passed it or that time Jaden and Bobby were trying to score rather than driving the pass. So well, let's see if Seattle keeps playing that defense, forcing their big guy to run out there. Now they've got Crook and Menzies both in there. Those are going to be the guys manning the blocks. So the Wolverines might try and get their offense going to the corners to stretch them out even more.
And again, Crook playing with 3 personal fouls.
He's got to be very careful.
Lob inside to Menzies, somehow finds his way to Crook, and Crook able to draw the foul and will head to the free throw line. You see the percentages there.
You know, Manru player, what does he do? He comes around the curl there, and knowing the guy that he's got, Menzies, he just throws it up there. You know, he just throws it up there knowing that his guy's got a huge size advantage inside. Pretty good defense from UVU. The ball bounces around, comes right into Crook's hands.
Crook misses on the first personal free throw there as Goodman checks into the ball game.
Only saw Deon in the first half for 2 minutes. Darius normally would come in this instance, and so you know, the matchups are there because the Wolverines have gone small, Seattle's gone big. We'll see what gives.
Under 15 minutes here in this second half. Swinging around. Here's Fry in the corner. Goodman at it. Deflected. Fry has it. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Yeah. Davis walked. He disagreed with that call. Looked over at Coach Pope and kind of squinted.
Yeah. That was a better possession defensively for Seattle because they were flying around. They forced UVU off and gets off the 3-point lines, that is, and gets Marcel called for the foul. Let's see if on offense what they try and do, if they try and pound that ball inside.
Spurgeon left it short, Scant for the rebound. Really pushing the tempo here. Thought he might have come down with that, but nonetheless, a whistle and a foul on Spurgeon. Did Fry walk with it? Did he get the ball off before the feet hit the ground?
It looked like that was pretty close.
It was close.
That was really close here in the pass off. And see, that to me, that's not a foul. You know, that maybe the initial contact with but that wasn't where the whistle was blown. That was terrific defense there. And I think Coach Dollar definitely had an argument as we get another travel call. Was that Connor Fry called for the travel?
So another turnover here committed by the Wolverines. 46-37, Seattle U basketball. We talked about the energy, and they started the second half with such great energy. Spurgeon knocks down the 3. Jake Spurgeon, the freshman, he went to Lake Ridge High School there in Sherwood, Oregon. Makes another bucket. Scant comes back, able to answer.
Corners are where it's at for both teams right now. Spurgeon got a shot on the right wing. Last possession gets it on the left wing. And the Wolverines have been really active in the corners. See, this is what Seattle's been doing too, is they get their 2 best shooters inside coming off of screens that are set by Crook and by Menzies. It leads to opportunities like this.
Before the shot, a turnover. The official says, you hopped.
I'd love to see a replay of that.
And he said, I hopped.
I don't think he hopped at all.
And Coach Dollar's like, you got to be kidding. I was right there. I saw it. Yeah, I didn't think he hopped either. But nonetheless, a turnover committed by Seattle U. Davis lost it, got it back. Jackson, nice one-handed pass to Fry. Fry called for an offensive foul. And you see the Utah Valley bench.
There may be an argument of if he was inside the circle.
They extended that restricted area.
I don't know, the right foot would have been the only foot that would have been in the circle, and the circle didn't extend out to where Menzies' foot was, so it's a judgment call there, I think, from the official.
So Connor Fry now to the free throw line, 6'6" junior forward.
And the baseline official initially ruled it as a charge, and then the top official came down and overruled him.
Right. Because I had called charge, and I didn't see that. And then, you're right, they conferred, and reversed it. Jaden Cohey checks into the game. Ryan knocks down the free throw, and then Manny Chibagu checks into the ball game for Coach Dollar, and Menzies will head to the bench.
Yeah, they're using that big lineup in spurts. You know, I think it has worked for them at times on defense, on offense. They post the two guys up at the blocks and get their shooters to come off of screens to try and free them up. I'm not surprised they go back to this smaller lineup because the Wolverines are eating them up with the corners and the dribble drives baseline.
Crook in the post. Tough shot. Too strong off the glass. Pretty good defense by Goodman. Utah Valley would love to hit a timely three. Jackson, that's off the mark. Boy, how about Fry? Wow. A meeting at the rim. Trying to keep the ball alive for Utah Valley, and he does.
Yeah, that's the
fearless.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one thing that I guess the smaller lineup for Seattle can hurt you on is when you do get a shot. You don't have the size of Menzies in there or the body to block out. And absolutely, Connor Fry, as you said, not a mixed up and relentless inside.
He's got it, now gives it up to Jackson. Oh, foul on Spurgeon.
And this is an interesting development as far as the fouls go because that's 8 fouls now on Seattle. So any foul they commit puts the Wolverines at the free throw line, and we still have 13 minutes left to play.
And of course, we've talked about how good of a free throw shooting team Utah Valley is. Oh, they missed that one.
You've got the jinx. It's alive and well.
You can put it on me.
We had Marcel miss it earlier, right? I won't blame you for it.
Yeah, I waited till after he made it.
Yes, you did.
And then, yes.
Seattle's really trying to post up here and get the three-point shot.
Westendorf did miss on that three. Still the game's leading scorer with 13. And Fry now with 12. It'll stay with the Redhawks.
The Redhawks, again, that's probably the 7th or 8th time I've seen the second half where Westendorf is posting up on the block right in front of their bench. So they're a post-up team, and they're trying to get him involved as much as they can inside.
Powell gonna swing it around. Three ball that is off the mark. Powell right there was fouled and will head to the free throw line.
You know, as much as we're talking about Connor Fry being relentless, William Powell has been just the same inside. Look at him battling in there, about takes Connor Fry's arm off.
Oh, love the matchup.
Takes Connor's arm off. Good, great battle inside.
I was looking forward to Westendorf and Davis, but yeah, it's been Powell and Fry. Two guys battling on hustle plays, effort plays. Every Young, a couple of made threes in this one. Fry will head out. Top scorer for the Wolverines with 12 points. Davis, incidentally, with 10 points. Powell misses it, comes right back to him, and he banks it off the glass. And that's kind of William Powell. That's what he does.
You do not see that very often at any level of basketball. And I saw him as soon as he shot that. He started leaning forward. He knew that it was short, and nobody blocked him out. The ball came right to him. That's 4 fouls on Jack Rourke now.
So foul issues becoming a story for both sides. 11:47 left here in the second half. Seattle U on top of Utah Valley, 51-42. Back with the WAC Digital Network right after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't go!
brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it.
strive to achieve excellence through determination and hard work.
We are committed to learning from those around us.
Our professors and peers,
Our coaches and teammates,
and our opponents.
we compete with integrity and passion.
And we seize our moment when the opportunity arises.
We take pride in our communities.
And believe that we can inspire others.
Just as they have inspired us.
We may wear different colors, but we share the same purpose.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are
The Western Athletic Conference.
Welcome back. Matt, you made the point right before halftime that Crook picked up his 4th personal foul, and that has been an issue for him. I think he's fouled out of 4 games this year.
Wow.
So that's he does get into foul trouble. And on the other side, Utah Valley, Bastion also with 4 fouls too. So that's something we'll have to monitor.
Yeah, I think the Bastion foul trouble is going to affect the Wolverines less than the Crook foul trouble would affect to the Redhawks. But it's hard. You feel for Crook, and you know what? He's still in the game, but he's put in a tough spot because we mentioned how he's one of the 2 guys on the bottom against the 3-2 zone, and the Wolverines are putting guys in each corners. So he's got to get out there, and he's got to challenge. So this is where kind of the X's and O's part of the games come in, because Crook knows he cannot foul, and the Wolverines should do their best to try and take advantage of that. Let's see if they keep the Redhawks. Oh, wow.
I was thinking there was a violation, but
yeah, they did call that. They called a violation on Jack Crook.
So we've talked about Utah Valley and how good their free throw shooting has been. And coming into this game, #1 in the WAC at 73%. And they have Hayden gets another opportunity after missing.
Yeah, that's a big break for the Wolverines. Mental mistakes. Some of the things that we've seen from both teams in the last couple of possessions. Giving up the offensive rebound off the free throw, the Wolverines did. And that time, another free throw violation. Wolverines get the points.
Now 14 of 17 at the free throw line. Speaking of Utah Valley, and they're right there, 51-44.
Now going to get an illegal screen here. William Powell's second. He had one earlier in the game near the three-point line. This time he gets called for the moving screen on the block. Another mental mistake.
And that's his 4th personal foul.
Foul troubles are going to be hurting both teams. Wolverines are going to be at the free throw line every time, however.
Davis. Jackson with the drive. Able to score inside. The C's almost parted for Jaden, and alertly puts it in.
Redhawks didn't quite finish their rotation around the perimeter, and I think it was Andrew Bastion did a nice job of holding off Menzies inside ever so slightly. As you said, the C's parted, wide open layup.
Under 11 minutes. Chibagu knocks it down.
Wow, big shot there from Chibagu. And that ball's dumped into Powell in the paint, and he's active. And you get a turnover here for the Redhawks.
And who is it? William Powell.
William Powell. He is the Connor Fry for the Redhawks all over the place. Let's see if they try and keep that ball in his hands in the post. Yep, here's what they're going to do. See, they're bringing Powell over, and they're going to post him up again.
Took his time, but left it a little bit short. And now Menzies is going to commit the foul. And Bastion will go and shoot some free throws, but curious why Menzies continued to press it.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. Got his arm caught in there. Bastion swinging through. Pretty good defense, I thought, as Powell was posting up. I think it was Hayden Skank that was guarding him, holding his ground. When Powell made his spin move, he didn't quite gain as much ground as I think he was hoping to. Menzies, yeah, it's called for the silly foul.
63% free throw shooter is Connor Fry checks back into the ball game. Short breather. More coming up here for Bastion.
I'll be interested to see if Bastion with 4 points. I'll be interested to see if Coach Dollar goes with, as Vanderbilt gets the rebound. Goes more like an offense-type defense thing as we get later in the game with Crook and Menzies. Again, they've gone back to this big lineup.
And again, the big fella Crook playing with 4 personal fouls. Under 10 minutes to play in the second half.
Excuse me, maybe if you're Coach Dollar, you just say, hey, look, no matter what, don't foul. Okay, just don't foul. We need you in the game.
You got a pretty good help defender in Menzies who might come
absolutely.
over
Absolutely.
on occasion.
You want him to pick up the fouls.
Just able to get it in. Menzies. Crowd wanted to travel. Crook gonna back down Fry, doubled back outside to Menzies. Chibagu thought about it, gives it inside to Menzies, and what a possession that was for the Red Hawks.
Absolutely. Chibagu looked like he was gonna shoot it. He made it a couple possessions ago, but when you have size and Menzies just rolling down the lane, throw it up there and it's good.
Menzies 8 points. Skank misses on the 3. Oh, rolled across the top of the backboard, and so it'll be Seattle U basketball. Again, this is, I harken back, this is a team in Seattle U, 1-5 on the road.
Yeah.
They've had their issues.
Isn't it amazing to see him play like this? And you think, how in the world are they 1-5 on the road? Because they have really come in here and played a terrific game so far. Granted, it's not over yet, but absolutely, this has got to be their best game on the road so far, I'm sure.
They've led for over 20-plus minutes in this game. They've really controlled it. Really, after that first media timeout, they have been the ones that have been in control. Now, Utah Valley did cut it to 3 early in the second half. Crook blocked from behind by Skank. And this will be the second shot clock violation. You'll recall they had one in the first half. When Menzies had the ball with 2 seconds, didn't realize there was that, less time on the clock, and made the pass instead of a shot. So
that was great rotation, great timing on defense. Once again, Seattle just a little bit unaware of the time.
Davis, Utah Valley needs this in short. Did Fry head that to Jackson somehow and got it back and draws the foul inside? And is this on Crook? Crook was in the area.
I think they're getting that on Menzies.
So they'll get 41, not 24.
And he did head it.
Yeah.
He headed it right into the corner. The only thing that would have made that, as we see the replay here, foul there. Body probably could have called it on Menzies or Westendorf, but the only thing that would have made that play perfect is if Jaden would have taken that shot and knocked it down. But
now Menzies, that's his 5th.
He's out.
He's out of the game, so he is fouled out. And Crook, the other big man, has 4 fouls. Spurgeon has 4. Powell has 4. You just saw moments ago on your screen.
Yeah, they're in foul trouble, no doubt about it. And I think while we look at it and think Menzies maybe not a huge part of the game plan, he played terrific tonight. He has been fantastic coming off of the bench, so I think he'll be missed. But I think what Coach Dollar probably would have gone to is this lineup. Later on, we saw the big lineup in Spurgeon. This lineup is I think the preferred. But it would have been a luxury to be able to send Menzies in there if Crook did pick up foul trouble, when he did. If Crook fouls out, then who are they going to go to inside?
Menzies 8 points on 3 of 3 shooting and 6 rebounds. Pretty good effort there by the freshman. Utah Valley with a chance to cut into it. Fry puts his head down.
That's a charge.
And they're going to call him with the walk. And look at Coach Pope jumping up and down. And Fry pleading his case. There's Coach Pope moments ago. He was jumping up and down. He thought his guy was fouled.
Yeah, you like the aggressiveness from Connor, but he puts his arm down, he puts his shoulder down. I thought from our angle, I thought that was an offensive foul. I thought it was a good call. When you shield the ball like that and you put your head and shoulder down, it doesn't look good to the official.
And again, Powell playing with 4 personal fouls, and that was pretty close too.
That was a big play right there. Wow. We might look back on that and say, that was a big play for Seattle because he avoided fouling out.
Westendorf, he's been quiet. Boy, that was a nice shot up with the left.
Wow, what skill. We normally see him turn to his left shoulder. That time he goes to the right. Unexpected finish with the left.
Jackson hanging and hitting. Well, he's done that a couple times where he's been able to penetrate with a runner.
Well, because he's the three-point threat, so the guards have to get out to him, and that leaves the lane open, and he's done a nice job of attacking what's given to him when he's not comfortable shooting it from that far out.
7-point lead here for Seattle U. Westerndorf had a block, got it back. Manroop for three. Claire can't hit. Fry with a rebound. Davis has it. Inside 7 minutes to play. Davis thought about the three. Penetrates back outside. Skank is in three earlier in the game. Misses. Fry swooping in with the offensive rebound. This guy, the energy that he has. Bastion inside, missed it, got it back, rims out.
That's going to be a foul, I believe. Oh, Powell is fouled out if they're calling it on him.
Bodies on the floor. Skank gets picked up, so does Westerndorf. What's the call? Did you
They're
see?
going to call, they called it on Powell. They called a hold on him.
So he's out. He is fouled out of the game.
We got to see a replay of that because
a loose ball situation.
Yeah, loose ball situation. I don't know where they called that. Let's watch number 21. Oh my goodness, that's a terrible call.
And look at his reaction.
That is a horrible call. I don't know where the foul was. What are they calling as a foul? In defense of William Powell, that's a terrible call.
Yeah. Perhaps it was before that, but hard to see. Is Coach Mark Pope, we talked about the job he has done, the energy he has brought here to this program, the championship pedigree. Learned under some terrific head coaches. Larry Bird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rick Pitino at Kentucky back in the day.
Definitely has a lot of experience and a lot of experience under some good coaches.
They're telling me the recruiting class coming in is going to be fantastic. They're getting some really high-caliber athletes to play here at Utah Valley.
I've heard that too. You know, I'm not as plugged into the recruiting pipeline as I probably should be, but that's the word that I'm hearing too. And quite frankly, if they wouldn't have had as many injuries this year, you know, the guys that they've got sitting on the bench, they have as many guys sitting in warm-ups on the bench as they do that are eligible to play. So I think the more guys that you can bring in, the more competitive you can make it. Obviously, the better that's going to be for your program. And I know Coach Pope is very high on the people, the guys that are coming in. And if you can couple that with who's here already, with all these guys in the gray sweatpants and that aren't lacing it up right now, the outlook is very positive.
Zach, I remember him his freshman year, a pretty standout player back then. And unfortunately, with the broken leg during the summer. And how about Cameron Dollar, though? He is a pleasure to talk to. I enjoy speaking with him. He forgot to call me.
Yeah.
And then, 15 minutes before the game, he called me on the phone.
I see you on your phone walking away, and I'm wondering what in the world is going on. And then I look over, and there was some contact as he was sitting across on the bench. So it's not often that you see a coach do that, call before the game to talk.
I mean, literally 15 minutes before the game. He calls my number. I saw the 206 area code. That's got to be Coach Dollar. Made eye contact, and then he was generous, and we talked for about 5-10 minutes. And he said, "We good?" And I was like, "Well, I could probably talk to you for another half hour, but yeah, we got to be because the game's going to start."
Yeah,
but
it's going to be starting.
He's really done a nice job, and they've navigated. You know, they were independent too, and making that transition to Division I and getting in the WAC. Big deal for Seattle U, and scheduling used to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
You're independent, and you're looking for games in January and February. Tough deal, but he's always had entertaining teams, and typically they'll have guys that they just lob it up and they throw it down. Not so much on this team. We haven't seen that a whole lot, but
it's a different style of play with a different style of player.
And there's Coach Cameron Dollar, was head coach at the age of 22.
Yeah,
NCAA program in Los Angeles.
Incredible. You know, we've got some interesting action going on here because there's conversation between the officials and Coach Dollar.
I saw you took your headset off.
I tried to get in on the action there.
Yes.
I think they're going to replay. Well, they're going to replay the last possession, I think, and see who I don't think they're going to reverse the foul, but they're going to see who drew the foul, basically. I think it's going to be between Andrew Basham, he was the one at the free throw line, or Connor Fry.
Another look here.
Here's I don't understand where the foul is on Powell.
I mean, Bastion does kind of wrap him up.
Look, Bastion's got his arm there. I don't understand where the foul is. And who are they calling it against? I'm really confused at that. And Powell obviously is confused. That's a play on, but they've got to be determining and looking at the replay here of who's going to go to the free throw line.
You don't think they'll reverse the foul call?
They won't reverse the foul call. I don't understand where's the foul on Powell right there. But it's got maybe they thought that there was a put. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but it's got to be what they're looking at. And it's not Connor Fry because he's right there. It's Andrew Bastion or it's Hayden Skank. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a mystery to me. But they're going to be reviewing that. I don't know
they're
how
looking at it right now.
determine.
Yeah, and that is a tough call called against William Powell, who's having a really terrific performance for Coach Dollar. And we both, I think, we are in agreement. That's a mystery call on Powell.
Yeah, it is a mystery call, and let's see who they put at the free throw line. You know, looking forward and past whatever the result of this is going to be a different lineup than what Seattle U wanted to have.
Yeah.
Powell's out of the game. They can't sub in Menzies. So I think we're going to see this lineup. For them, you got to hope that Crook doesn't pick up another foul, but this is going to be big minutes for Jake Spurgeon. He's in the game. He's going to be the guy that's going to get the minutes. Maybe Jaden Cohey comes in, but where you don't have Menzies, you don't have Powell, you're really looking at those two guys, Jake Spurgeon and Jaden Cohey.
By the way, tonight's officials, Ronnie Hernandez, Chad Shepard, and John Paul Guerrero. And they've got their work cut out for them because this is a major call in this game, and it's taking some time here.
They're trying.
To
Coach
decipher.
Pope is frustrated. He's making the motion, twirling his fingers, saying, let's go, let's play. This is completely killing the rhythm of the game.
So 57-50, and this has been going on for some time, and now they're letting the operators know here at the UCCU Center here at Press Row. And Coach Pope still looking on. And so Bastion is at the free throw line, attempting to get the ball and maybe shoot some free throws. I don't know. Now Fry leaves the paint. And I know, Matt, you were able to talk to the scorer's table. What'd you find out?
They called a dead ball, bench technical, on, I was told, 33, so that's Dayon Goodman. I don't know where that happened on the bench. It must have been after something happened. So they're going to shoot 2 free throws for White, and they're going to shoot 2 free throws for Red, is what I was told. I believe it's Red's ball. So they may not have been reviewing the technical foul they just announced at the PA. Technical foul on Dayon Goodman. So this is going to be 2 free throws here for Manu Claire.
77% free throw shooter.
And then Seattle's going to get the ball. So it must have been that they weren't reviewing the foul. Maybe they were because they put Bastion at the free throw line, but they may have been reviewing the actions of Dayon Goodman on the bench because he wasn't on the court. I don't believe he was not on the court from my recollection. That's why they called it a bench technical.
Okay. Wow. That's an
highly unusual.
Yes, yeah.
I like going over there and finding those things out. It's pretty fun.
Because we had you didn't talk to us.
Didn't talk to us.
So
I just, saw all the talk to Coach Dollar as you get Jack Crook with a nice one-handed push shot in the lane. Coach Dollar, did you hear him just in front of us, yelled, get to these corners. He knows that's the point. Get to these corners, he said.
10 points, Seattle U lead. Here's Jackson. Skank, tough shot. Bastion right there, out of bounds. It's going to stay with Utah Valley. Skank was trying to high-five the official.
Trying to butter him up for a foul call, I'm sure.
So Jackson to inbound for the Wolverines. Boy, they desperately need a bucket here. As we're inside 6 minutes. Jackson. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Davis. Fry lost it. Bodies go flying. Claire picks it up. And now Westerndorf.
Yeah, that was a huge defensive stop
that
for
was
Seattle. And
good
a costly
defense.
turnover for the Wolverines, because now if you're Seattle, you're just going to use that clock, run your offense, and get a good shot, or the best shot that you can.
Wow, a chance now at a three-point play. And the bench for the Red Hawks fired up.
Did he finish that with the left hand?
Well, he's a talent, isn't he?
Look at him. Look at the defense there. Put a little bit more motion onto it. Draw the contact. What body control, and finish in the foul. What a play.
Well, I have been impressed, no question, with Brendan Westerndorf. And, you know, you look at the stats, and, boy, he's coming off a good performance. And, boy, he has certainly backed that up tonight in Orem. A 64-51 game now as we approach 5 minutes.
It's going to be a foul. Jake Spurgeon has got called for a couple of those tonight, and it's that rule change. You cannot put an open palm or an open hand on a driver. You're going to get called every single time.
And Matt, he is now fouled out.
Wow. Okay. So just as I was talking about Spurgeon,
who's going to fill in for these guys who has foul issues? Yeah, they start fouling out.
Now you got number 30 coming in,
Zach Moore, the freshman,
who hasn't played yet in tonight's game.
He played against the Vaqueros 6 minutes, no stats, no rebounds, didn't shoot the ball. So
what a big moment for him.
He's making his 8th appearance.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it's not like he's a regular guy coming in the game. Because of all these foul issues that Seattle U is dealing with, he's going to be forced into action. Can the freshman from Bellevue, can he contribute here with Coach Dollar's team?
That foul trouble is going to be big in the last 5 minutes here.
It's almost like they have to hang on. Look inside. Oh, what a nice move.
Just overpowered the defense there, took his time and delivered. Nice play from Crook.
66-52. I say hang on, but right now they have a comfortable lead.
Wow, another
Westerndorf.
Oh, that would drive a coach crazy.
And Coach Dollar is.
Yeah, he is crazy. A turnover in transition where you would be better served there to just pull that ball out, use some clock.
66-52. You just get the feeling Utah Valley, they got to connect on some of these threes.
Yeah, they do. But Seattle's making it difficult. They're forcing plays like that to drive.
Davis inside, now back out to Jackson. Shot clock under 10. Jackson misses, tipped by Bastian. That doesn't fall, and Westerndorf comes up with it. And now Fry.
Yeah, that's a silly Fry from Connor.
Is he talking to Westerndorf? And now the official is going to give him a technical foul.
Oh, my goodness.
He loved the energy.
Yeah.
But he gets impatient, and something's got to happen. If it's not happening, he's going to try to make it happen, and it leads to a technical foul.
Yeah, I think he was frustrated, and that's a frustration foul, and the mistake there is obviously compounding the foul because Westerndorf comes up with the ball. I mean, here Connor's just got to get back. You can't, you like the hustle there, but it's clearly a foul. And then, Westerndorf gives a little bit of an elbow, but it wasn't to the face. It was to get his arm or hand off of him, and then for some reason, Connor walked after him.
And unfortunately, that's his fifth personal foul. So he is now fouled out of the ball game. 4 foul outs in this game.
Holy
Who
cow.
knew?
Yeah, and close to a 5th.
Yeah,
maybe even a 6th.
We'll probably have 6 guys eventually foul out of this game.
And the officials are reviewing this, I'm sure, for the elbow throw. But to me, it was a non-issue because he didn't throw it at the head or anything like that. Not that it would be fine if he threw it at the body, but
how about one more look?
Yeah, we'll see the replay. So you see Connor come in here. It's going to be the right arm of Westerndorf.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Maybe the intent was there, seeing it from that angle, but. Connor shouldn't have walked after him. Should have stepped away there. They may call something there because there was an elbow that was thrown, but they're going to have to call it on intent, if anything, because there was no contact. But regardless, so what? Seattle's going to get 2 free throws. And if the Wolverines get 2 free throws, if they call anything, it'll then be, I believe, still Seattle's basketball.
This has
just
been
a frustrating night for the Wolverines, and you see it pinpointed right there.
Fry fouling out 14 points, so close to that average. Again, the 4th leading scorer in the WAC, but 8 rebounds, 1 assist. This has been a too familiar scene as the officials gathering together here in the second half, talking, so play is not going on. It's, boy, that's been a lot here in the second half.
You know, and obviously they're trying to do that to get the right call, and what it does do is kill the momentum or hurt the momentum of the game. So let's see what they come up with here.
Westerndorf, 18 points, 7 of 13 shooting, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Wow, what numbers.
Yeah, he's been very impressive for me tonight. And then Crook also 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting, so not as efficient as he was last Saturday, but still pretty good performance. He was 8 of 12, 16 points against the Vaqueros.
I think they are. I took off my headset again. They're going to call a technical on Westendorf. And from what I heard, foul on Connor Fry, foul on Brendan Westendorf. Those are going to offset. So I think it will be free throws for Seattle, and then it should be their basketball.
Redhawks trying to improve to 3-3 in conference play. Big matchup with Grand Canyon on Saturday. Westerndorf at the free throw line was fouled by Fry, and then the technical foul, and then he was guilty of a tech. So
Westendorf, the PA announcer, announced it as an unsportsmanlike technical foul.
Oh.
I've never heard that before, but
I've heard it in another sport.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
He was called for that, and Connor Fry was back on the court. He wanted to still play, but he's fouled out. This should be an interesting final 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
What are we going to see?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm excited.
They're going to blow it right here. Wow, what confusion. The official underneath marked it as a 1-and-1, but it's 2 free throws. They're in the double bonus, or they're in the
both
double
teams.
bonus.
Yeah, both teams.
So the scorekeeper buzzed that in right as the free throw was going. So what did we have there? Did that free throw count? It did. So, wow.
Yeah, we're getting close to 40 fouls. We probably have 40 fouls now. As Davis knocks in a 3. Well, that is much needed. Can they make one final push?
Yeah, the game is not over. We're talking about, or I'm thinking that the game is over, but the Wolverines still have a lot of life left. Timeout here from Coach Dollar.
Takes a timeout with 3:46 left. 68-55 our score.
Minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know certain cartoon characters should never have an energy drink?
Action. Geico.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community. A tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Orem, Utah, the UCC Youth Center. The WAC game of the week here on the WAC Digital Network. Seattle U leading Utah Valley 68-55. As closing stretches here of this game. Does Utah Valley have one final push? A score update. Grand Canyon leading Bakersfield 58-49. About 5 minutes left in that game. Grand Canyon in first place. They have not lost a game in conference yet. And then Bakersfield, they've been the surprise team. Rod Barnes has done a nice job. They're contending in the first portion of this WAC schedule. So can they upset Grand Canyon at home? We'll have to see. But Utah Valley will next play Bakersfield here at the UCCU Center, and then Seattle U will go to Grand Canyon on Saturday.
Now, this game is far from over. I'm excited for the final 4 minutes here. During the break, we had the play-by-play guy for Seattle U take off his headset and say, what the heck is going on down here to us? And we wish we knew, but what an exciting game. Everybody seems to be into it, and it's far from over.
Utah Valley, they have to hit a couple of threes to get back into this game.
Yeah, and for Seattle, it's going to be taking care of the ball, using the clock, and don't foul and put them at the free throw line. And that's going to be a foul out there.
And that's number 5. So another foul out by Seattle U here. Coach Dollar just laughs. That's the only thing you could do.
Who's he going to put in now?
Menzies is gone. Powell is out.
I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of guys on his roster. We saw Jaden Coe play a few minutes. We're going to get another first-timer into the game here.
Shaughnessy, the freshman from Woodstock, Georgia, who did play in the last game, 1 minute, 1 point, and 1 turnover. But
excuse me, he did play 2 minutes in the first half, so he did get a few minutes in, I believe, in the first half. So he's not a first-timer in the game, as I said. But crazier things have happened. That could be a big turn of events because Crook was kind of the last linchpin that was in there for Seattle.
Does Utah Valley, do they have enough time to get back into this game?
Well, with their three-point shooting, I think they do. With the fact that any foul that is called, Seattle's going to be in a very defensive position right now because what they want to do is, thinking, hey, we got to get out to the threes. We don't want to give up a three. That's what will hurt us and get UVU back into the game. And that's going to open up the opportunity for drives and penetration from the Wolverines. So the concern that I would have for Seattle is to say, look, we got to be aggressive on defense, but we can't foul. We can't just sit back and lay back and let the Wolverines do whatever they want because the Wolverines are going to be ultra aggressive here. And the Wolverines are going to pressure them. They're going to do a full court press. They're going to try and get steals in the backcourt, maybe do some trapping. So for Seattle, it all comes down to keeping UVU off of the free throw line and not letting them hit those three-point shots and take care of the basketball. And for the Wolverines, you try and get steals, you try and get turnovers, and you get the best shot that you can as quick as you can get it. I mean, there's plenty of time. It's 13, it's the way the Wolverines play, it's a 5-point, 5-possession game, which in 3.5 minutes, 5 threes, that's got to be the mindset. It's right there for them.
Now they've averaged 11 made threes in conference play. Speaking of the Wolverines, right now they're sitting at 7 made threes. And then the unfortunate thing for Utah Valley is, of course, Connor Fry, another pretty good three-point shooter, fouled out of the game. So
well, and I would even consider, I'm not the coach, but I would even consider going man-to-man if I was Seattle because you've got a smaller lineup in there. This is exactly what you didn't want to give up for Seattle, but I would consider going to a man-to-man defense because Wolverines have got the shot. See, this is the type of pressure for the next 3.5 minutes that the Red Hawks are going to see. Trapping at times on the sideline, swiping at the basketball. The officials will probably not see a lot of the physical contact that occurs.
Chabagu just holding now, going to play some clock. Goodman. Foul going to be on Goodman.
And that's not a good foul for Dayon because 13 seconds left on the shot clock and you're at half court. You don't want to put him at the free throw line.
Double bonus in effect, both teams. Manny Chabagu, 6'7", 205 junior from Seattle, Washington. Talked about coming off that career performance. 6 rebounds, 2 assists in Seattle U's victory on Saturday. 68% free throw shooter. He's got 1 more.
He's been big. He hasn't necessarily scored a lot of points, but he's done a lot of other things that affected the game.
Oh, does not get the bounce that time here at the UCCU Center. So 69-55.
See, plays just like that. I can't believe Coach Dollar's hollering for an illegal screen, but you don't want to foul early in the shot clock. Clock stops and free throws, and then if there's makes, you get Wolverines have time to set up their full court defense.
Davis at the line, makes good on the first. One more coming up for Marcel Davis, the senior. At his high school basketball, not too far away, American Ford. Pretty good standout for Coach Meacham back in the day. Played for some good caveman programs. And have a kick ball by Shaughnessy.
I don't know enough about the Red Hawks to know if this is their best ball handling lineup, but I'm very surprised that Westendorf is the one taking the ball out of bounds. You'd think that you'd want to get him the ball and let him bring it up, but he was the one taking it out of bounds.
Yeah, and there's a turnover by the less experienced Zach Moore. Westendorf last game, how about a 7 assists, just 1 turnover? So
yeah, and he comes up with, wow, what a play from Westendorf coming up with a steal.
The steal kept it in bounds and a forward to Claire, and Claire able to score. Wow, the brilliance of Westendorf.
Third steal. He's done it all. He's been fantastic.
Davis, skank for 3, doesn't fall. Goodman with the offensive rebound. Lost it, but I think it was knocked out by Seattle U. The energy level seems to have
way down.
Yeah, it's dropped for Utah Valley here with 2:12 left.
Kind of was killed with a lot of the, I'm not blaming it on the officials, of course, but when they went and reviewed all of that, but, Seattle had stretched the game out before all of that happened, but you're absolutely right. There has been, the energy level has not been here, I think, for most of the night for the Wolverines.
Wild shot by Skank, but it goes in. And now here comes the pressure for the Wolverines. Westendorf got to hurry and does. Moore gives it back to Westendorf. Now play some clock here. Or maybe not. Oh, wow. It went in.
A good no call.
Chubagu. It looked like it was going to be short, just enough English to roll across the rim and down. Jackson with a 3. Now, where has that been? And boy, they need a lot more of those.
It hasn't been there tonight. It really hasn't been there. And
Eighth made 3, I believe.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many attempts that is for them, but yeah, it just hasn't been there. The corner shot has been there. Having seen a lot of Wolverine games, that's where they're typically really good from the 3. They just, it hasn't fallen for them tonight. But a lot of that has to do with how Seattle approached the game. They've stuck to their game plan. They stuck to it the entire time. I'm sitting here saying, hey, I'd go man. Nope, they're sticking to the 3-2 zone, which is why I'm not a coach. But they've been committed to what they thought would win them in the game, and the evidence is in the score. It definitely has. The Wolverines, I had thought so much about this coming into the game. I wrote it down. Can Seattle keep up with the UVU tempo? And absolutely they have. They've dictated it. The Wolverines on the year average 77 points a game, and they're at 62 right now.
Yeah, they were second in the WAC in scoring offense behind Grand Canyon. And yeah, you're right. Well beyond that pace, just 62 points. Loose ball. Davis, 3. Can't hit it, and Chubagu with another rebound. And getting a call timeout. Coach Dollar says just dribble.
Yeah.
We don't need to call a timeout in that position.
It's a pressure situation for sure, because you don't want to turn it over. I'm really surprised at the play they just ran on the inbounds with the full court long pass there. And again, I would not have Brendan Westendorf taking that ball out of the bounds, and I'd do everything that I could to get the ball in his hands, make or miss.
Yeah. In talking to Coach Dollar, 15 minutes before the game, as we did, I said, what are you going to do with this pace? Because that was something that we talked about before this game. And, pace, I'm not really concerned about that because we play Eastern Washington. And we played them back-to-back. They played them twice.
Oh, wow.
And so they kind of got familiar with that tempo. I guess they played similar to Utah Valley with the 3s and getting up a lot of shots. And so he was pretty confident, I think, coming into this game.
I didn't know they had played him back-to-back like that, and so they definitely have experience with it. It's it's been really impressive to see, because it wasn't something that I was expecting. And you know, the teams that the Wolverines have struggled against this year have been teams that have controlled the tempo and have controlled the pace, and not been at the pace that they wanted to play at.
Here's Claire for three. And again, that's a guy that averages 3 made threes a game. I think he's stuck at 2. Oh, what a block by Chibagu. Coming across the lane, swatting that one. Yeah, the first win was against Eastern Washington. They lost the first 3 games, and they lost to Eastern, let's see, back on November 18th, and then they played them November 23rd and got the win, 58-52. Somewhat preparing them for this Utah Valley tempo.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-2 zone did it. It just completely, in that first half, got the Wolverines out of their rhythm. And what a win for Seattle, because they come on the road. They beat the 4th place team right ahead of them, like we talked about. They had guys foul out left and right. Wow.
Four guys fouling out on the road, and you win the game. That is
impressive victory, top to bottom. The Wolverines are going to need to improve on a lot of things from this game, but wow, I imagine Coach Dollar is one happy coach right now, because his guys played, executed the game plan that they had in place, and dominated the game.
All right, well, we'll step aside. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up after this, but Seattle U victorious here in Orem by a count of 73-62. Back to wrap it up on the WAC Digital Network right after this.
Could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
Jesse, don't move!
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. No matter what.
Well, welcome back to Orem, Utah, in the UCC Youth Center. Intriguing matchup we had with Seattle U, the Redhawks, and Utah Valley, and boy, pretty clear-cut victory for Seattle U, especially that second half. Saw a few crazy things in the second half. A lot of the officials getting together, confirming some of the calls, but overall, what'd you think?
I thought it was a really exciting game. I think from about 16 or 15 minutes left in the first half, Seattle really exerted control, and they never let UVU back in more than within 4, 5, 6 points the rest of the game, and they did it with what their strength is. We'll see a lot of the highlights here, but again, Seattle did it with what their strengths are. They relied on Brendan Westendorf, who had 20 points.
Wow.
Jack Crook had 14 points. Manny Chibagu 11 points. So those guys came out to play. That was one of the keys that we talked about. They had to have balanced scoring, and they absolutely had balanced scoring. They shot 50% from the field, 31 from 3, and 59% from the three-point line. But look what they did to the Wolverines. They held them to 31% from the field, 31 from 3, as we're taking a look at the stats here. And the Wolverines attempted 27 free throws. That was maybe the bright spot. But the difference was the field goals because the turnovers were similar, the rebounds were similar, but points in the paint was a different matter. Seattle pounded UVU inside, and that to me was the difference. It was a pretty exciting game. It really was.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of good things, and a really nice victory for the Red Hawks.
On the road.
1-5.
Wearing their red uniforms.
Yes.
They were 0 for 3 with their red uniforms. Somehow the Jinx left, and they played really well defensively, controlled the paint.
Yep. And
had 4 guys foul out on the road.
That was a big thing too. There was
Amazing.
4 or 5 minutes left when they were down to some of their last guys on the bench. I think UVU is going to look back on this and regret a couple things that happened. They just didn't shoot the ball as well as they need to, and they really struggled from the field. And they had issues of their own. They just came up short tonight, but it was all because of what Seattle had done.
So Seattle U, they improved to 3-3 in conference play.
Yeah.
This drops Utah Valley to 3-3. Bakersfield coming in here on Saturday. How do you view that one?
Wow, these games in my mind are, meaning the follow-up shortly after, is a tough turnaround.
Yeah.
You come off
Thursday,
a tough
Saturday.
loss.
Yeah.
You've got tomorrow to prepare, and you've got your shoot-around maybe on Saturday to prepare, and you've got a tough Bakersfield team coming in here. And, I think that the Wolverines are going to have short memories, learn from their mistakes in this game, and turn right around and come out fighting on Saturday, because they can't lose ground on these home games in conference. They can't lose that ground.
Yeah, I think they're now 5-5 at home.
Yeah.
Overall, and Grand Canyon did beat Bakersfield in a close one, 70-64. So they're still undefeated, but Bakersfield comes in here with a loss. Utah Valley coming in here with a loss.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Be an important game for both teams once again, and you can't ask for anything more as a player, coach, or fan.
That's going to do it. I had a blast.
Fantastic game.
Matt, thank you so much. It was a good game. Westerndorf, again, brilliant performance with 20 points. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching this WAC Digital Network presentation. Our final score, Seattle U 73, Utah Valley 62. For our producer, Brendan Larkin, our entire production crew, and Matt Peterson, I am Michael Clanton saying so long from the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. Good night, everybody.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know certain cartoon characters should never have an energy drink?
Action.
Geico.
They come from one of the nation's top-rated business schools. The world-class Pure Parts. The advances in engineering and health science. And more than 125 leading degree programs. Their paths to success go in many directions. But they all start here. UMKC. The place where people go in places.
This copyrighted telecast of the Western Athletic Conference may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the WAC Digital Network.